Latest Everton news. Everton's chances of signing Jack Grealish improve after a £34.7 million update involving Manchester City. Meanwhile, Alan Myers reveals the steps David Moyes has taken off the pitch to transform Everton into a team capable of competing in Europe, and Everton expressing strong intent to acquire Bournemouth standout this summer. Stay with me until the end of the video to check out the latest Everton news, but before that, if you're as passionate about the Toffees as we are, don't waste any time and subscribe to our channel right now to stay updated on everything happening to the People's Club. Alright Everton fan, Everton's summer transfer plans could take an unexpected turn, with Jack Grealish potentially becoming far more attainable than anyone first imagined. When Grealish arrived on loan from Manchester City, the expectation was that a permanent deal would be financially unrealistic. A £50 million buy option and massive wages made it feel like a long shot, but circumstances may have changed. Grealish's recent injury, which has ruled him out until at least April, has complicated matters for both clubs. Everton are still covering part of his wages, and Man City now face a player whose market value has dipped due to fitness concerns and limited game time. Despite that setback, David Moyes remains keen on keeping Grealish, believing his creativity and experience elevate Everton to another level when fit. Here's where things get interesting. Manchester City are reportedly tracking Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall after his excellent season on Merseyside. He's been one of Everton's standout performers, contributing goals, energy, and leadership in midfield. Man City's interest opens the door to a potential deal structure that suits everyone. A straight cash bid may not meet Everton's valuation of Dewsbury-Hall, but a player plus cash arrangement involving Grealish suddenly makes sense. Everton would never want to lose Dewsbury-Hall cheaply, while Man City could offload Grealish and refresh their squad. A swap with an added fee could dramatically reduce Everton's outlay for a proven Premier League star. In my opinion, this scenario raises big questions. Do you build around Dewsbury-Hall as a long-term midfield leader, or prioritize keeping a player like Grealish who can change games on his own? Ideally, Everton would keep both, but football finances rarely allow that luxury. This situation highlights Everton's growing stature. Players are performing well enough to attract elite interest, and the club now has leverage in negotiations. Whatever happens, this decision could shape Everton's direction for years, making it one of the most important stories to watch as the summer window approaches. My friend Toffee fan, player plus cash deal, would you accept Grealish in a swap for Dewsbury-Hall? Share your opinion in the comments below. So Toffee, David Moyes' return to Everton has quietly reshaped the club, and it's worth taking a moment to understand just how significant that transformation has been. In an era where managers are judged almost entirely on their last result, patience is rare and perspective even rarer. One bad performance can spark outrage, while one good win can bring unrealistic expectations. Everton have lived that cycle this season, but the bigger picture tells a far more encouraging story. Cast your mind back just over a year. Everton were trapped in a familiar spiral of anxiety, staring down another spring filled with relegation fear and emotional exhaustion. Fast forward to now and the atmosphere feels different. There's belief, structure, and a sense of direction that simply didn't exist before. Moyes deserves enormous credit for that shift, even if he would be the first to spread praise across the players, owners, and supporters. What Moyes has brought is not just results, but standards. Training ground culture has changed. Match days feel more purposeful. Everton are no longer a soft touch or a comfortable landing spot for players going through the motions. Every individual, regardless of reputation or price tag, is expected to meet the same demands. Some players have already felt that edge, and while it hasn't always been comfortable, it's necessary for long-term progress. This approach explains why Moyes can seem cautious or understated. He's seen too much football to get carried away too early, and that restraint should not be mistaken for a lack of ambition. On the contrary, it's exactly what's required to rebuild a club aiming for European football rather than survival. The return of Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall from injury underlines that progress. His influence, leadership, and composure have been immediate, and at 27, he looks like a cornerstone for the future, a potential captain, a standard setter, and a symbol of where Everton want to go. The rebuild is still young, but the direction is clear. Respecting the journey matters just as much as demanding the destination. My dear Everton fan, do you feel this Everton team finally has a clear direction under Moyes? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Listen up Everton fan, Everton may have only just closed the winter transfer window, but behind the scenes, planning for the summer is already well underway. That's a clear sign of how David Moyes wants to operate this time around. proactive, not reactive. One of the key priorities is strengthening the spine of the team, and that starts with both ends of the pitch. Up front, Everton's interest in Liam Delap shows Moyes is looking for a striker who fits his physical, high-intensity style. Delap hasn't found consistency at Chelsea, but Everton explored a move for him last year, which suggests this is a long-term target rather than a panic option. For Evertonians, this points to a clearer recruitment strategy and a willingness to revisit players who suit the system. At the back, change is almost inevitable. Michael Keane is expected to leave when his contract expires, and that creates an immediate need for another centre-back. One name now being discussed is Bournemouth's Marcos Senesi, who is also approaching the end of his deal. As a left-sided defender with Premier League experience, Senesi would tick several boxes for Everton, particularly as Moyes looks to balance experience with reliability. However, this will not be a simple deal. Senesi is attracting interest from across Europe, including clubs in England, Italy, and Germany. That level of competition highlights his quality, but it also shows how ambitious Everton need to be if they want to win races like this. Bournemouth are hoping to keep him, but with the club sitting in the lower half of the table, a departure feels realistic. This is where Everton's progress becomes crucial. If the Toffees can push into European contention, that changes the conversation entirely. What this really means, this is why league position matters beyond pride. A stronger finish doesn't just mean better football now. It directly impacts the caliber of players Everton can attract next season. Planning early, targeting smart signings, and aiming higher are all signs of a club trying to move forward again. Evertonians, do you like this proactive approach to summer planning under Moyes? Share your opinion in the comments below. This is the Toffees News fan channel and I'll stop here. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. A big hug and see you in the next video.